Hello guys, it's Amanda and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to be giving you my first ever bookshelf tour. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be showing you every single book that I have in this room. So my main bookshelf is this big one right here, and then I have a smaller-ish one down here, and then I have a couple shelves here and over there. So I'm going to be showing you all the books that I have here, and let's get started. Here we're starting with my very first shelf up here, and that is of course my Twilight shelf. So up here I have some Twilight memorabilia. So right here is actually one of my favorite things on this shelf, and that is this gorgeous book while also being a DVD collection. So this is all the DVDs. But what I love about it is that it is actually a book, a little beautiful book. And what I love about it is that it has gorgeous pictures from all of the movies. And I think this is one of my prized possessions. It's so gorgeous and I absolutely adore it. Like, look at that. It is so pretty. It's one of my favorite things of all time. And yeah. So then next to that I have my white collection of the Twilight books, the white edition. And they're just plain paperbacks, but they're all in white. Then next to that I have my original set of Twilight books. I have, of course, Midnight Sun, and then I have a hardcover version of the original Twilight. I actually found that in a thrift store, so I just had to get it because I don't have a hardback of it. But then these 4 paperbacks are my original set of Twilight when I first read the books, and they are very important to me. And then next to that I have the Twilight Saga illustrated edition. So it has all different of illustrations, it has concept art in there, it has a lot of different stuff. Down here of course I have my Funko Pops, Jacob, Bella, and Edward. And then up here I have a Wilson baseball. This is to represent the famous baseball scene in the original Twilight. And then next to it I just have a red teacup, which reminds me of blood. Because, you know. Finally I have a replica of Bella's engagement ring. And I am so in love with this piece. So I keep that up here. And yeah, that is my Twilight shelf. So then the next shelf down, I call this my favorite series shelf. Over here, I have my A Court in Thorns and Roses series. I have my 4 original paperbacks, and then I have the collector's edition. And then over to the side, I have, oops, dropping pine cones. This side, I have a hardcover with the original cover art of A Court in Thorns and Roses. I absolutely love the original cover art, so eventually in my lifetime, I want to get all of the books in their original cover art. I got this as a gift from a librarian that's actually one of my good friends. So then next to that, I have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I absolutely loved that. Then I have the Caraval series. And then under that, I have the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. Next to that, I have the Darker Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. And then I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, the collector's edition of that book, and the original cover by V.E. Schwab. And I absolutely love this shelf. I have, of course, a little crown, a skull, another teacup, and again, lots of pine cones. Next shelf down, I'm on the floor, hello. So this shelf is, I call this my horror shelf. So I have all of my horror books, horror slash dark slash horror. And I absolutely love this shelf because, as you guys know, I love horror. So of course I have my favorite beautiful bust of my dearest Edgar Allan Poe. And then, of course, next to that, I have my complete tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe Barnes & Noble bind-up edition, which I absolutely love. And then I just have some standalones here, down here, and I just have a lot of horror. I have one Stephen King book, and I have a lot here. I actually have Zach Bagans' book, Zach Bagans' Ghost Hunting for Dummies book, which I absolutely love. And then under that, I have this huge book of just ghost stories. It's huge. It's at least like 1,000 pages long. I love it, and it's really good. And what I love about it is that they're true ghost stories. And I think my favorite part about this bookshelf is one book in particular, and that is this gorgeous book. This I am very careful with, but this is The Sinking of the Titanic and Great Sea Disasters. Thrilling stories of survivors with photographs and sketches. This book was published in 1912. This book was finally published like a month or so after the Titanic sinking. Oh my god. I have a book that is over 100 years old, and it is from early 1900s, and I am obsessed with this. As you can tell, like, it is worn, it is falling apart, but it's one of my favorite things of all time, and I just get so emotional when I hold this book because it just has so much life to it, and I just absolutely love this book, and this is one of my favorite things on this shelf. The last shelf on this huge bookcase, this is my entire TBR shelf, and TBR, if you don't know, means to be read. So these are all the books that I have not read yet and I plan to read. These are just all different sorts of books that I hope to read very soon. And then down here I just have a vintage camera, which I absolutely love. I have that usually sitting right here. But yeah, I've got a lot of books on here. There is only one book on here that I actually have read, and that is The Discovery of Witches. I do plan to finish the series this summer, hopefully. But yeah, this is my TBR shelf. Now this is on top of my smaller bookcase. Right here, of course, I have my little Beauty and the Beast section. I have the Enchanted Rose. And then here are a bunch of retellings of Beauty and the Beast. And then next to that, I have, of course, my Phantom of the Opera little section. I have the Phantom of the Opera original book. Then on top of that, I have this beautiful figurine that I got for Christmas, and it actually does play music. It plays Music of the Night, and it is gorgeous. It's one of my favorite things of all time, and I just love the Phantom of the Opera. Just love it there. It's so pretty. Then down I have Fable and Namesake, and of course I have to have these books facing outward because of the cover art is so gorgeous. And then over to the right I have Women Who Read Are Dangerous. I got that from the J.P. Morgan Library in New York City, and I absolutely love that book. The middle shelf here is kind of my miscellaneous area. I have a Star Wars book collection here. I have 2 Stranger Things books. And then I have a huge Anatomy of an Actor book, and it's Johnny Depp, of course. And then I have Northanger Abbey here, because I have no more room on my classic shelf. And then over here I just have books that I plan to read. Some of them I don't know. A lot of them I might donate, but really they're just space fillers at this point. But yeah. On the very last shelf on here is my, like I said, my classic shelf. and it is filled to the brim, so I can't have Northanger Abbey on this shelf, which really annoys me, but that's okay. But here I have all of the classics that I own so far. I do have 2 different versions of Anne of Green Gables, and what I love about this shelf, I think, is this small baby little edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and it's obviously a condensed version, but it's just a tiny little book. I found this at the Strand in New York City. What I love is that this book has colored illustrations, and I've never seen color illustrations of Alice in Wonderland before. This is a very special book to me, and it is just adorable because it's so tiny and it's gorgeous. So I love this book, and of course I have my full-size Alice in Wonderland book. And then next to that, I have my favorite Harry Potter book. Oops. This is my Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone pop-up book that came out, I think, in 2020 or 2021. But this is the entire story of the Sorcerer's Stone, but it also has illustrations and pop-ups. See, this is the entire of Diagon Alley. And it has different little things you can work with on here, and it is so fun. Yeah, it's one of the very pretty books I have. And of course this is Hogwarts. This is the entirety, the inside. Oh, look how cool that is. I love this book. That is definitely my favorite book here on this tiny shelf. But yeah, so that is that. Then over to the right I have my Harry Potter collection besides this book over here. But this I have just the first 4 books so far. I still have yet to get the rest of the books. I'm slowly making my way through the entire series, and then below that I have the Crimes of Grindelwald original screenplay. And then of course I just have my little skull here. Then over here I just have a little basket. I call this my little basket full of poetry. So these are all the poetry books that I own so far. And just to make it cute, I put 2 little skulls in here, and I just love this so much. So the next shelf I have here, this is of course my Disney shelf, and I do have books on here behind all the dolls. So right here I have all of my Twisted Tale books, the Disney Twisted Tale series, which I absolutely love. And then behind that I have Serena Valentino's Villain series, which is one of my favorites. And then of course I have all of my Disney dolls. And there's more up here. Yeah. So I love Disney, as you guys know, and I had to have an entire shelf or shelves dedicated to it. And then finally, I have my piratey / mermaid shelf. This has all of the pirate books and mermaid books, and of course some Titanic books. So, okay, so those are all the books that I have in here. I hope I covered everything, but I absolutely love all of my books. If I didn't, I wouldn't be having a booktube channel. Each one makes me feel so happy, and each one makes me feel so comforted and just really grateful to be alive and being able to read these books. So I think that is going to be it for this video. If you guys read any of these books, have your favorite books that you have read on my shelves, or if there's any books that you do plan to read that you saw in today's video, definitely let me know down below. So that is going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, hit subscribe if you have not already, and click the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I upload. And if you want to find me anywhere else, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, GoodReads, Pinterest, and in between the pages of a book. And as always, remember to be the Captain Jack Sparrow of your story, and may your compass lead you to amazing things. And I shall see you guys in my next video. Happy reading!